Today's the fifth Sunday of the month, and on the fifth Sunday if there's a fifth Sunday in a month, I like to do something impromptu. And I'm going to invite my friend, Reverend William Gill, to join me because he's going to share in this with me. Come on over.
And I have some news for you.
You have news for me?
I did not prepare a talk either.
What are we going to do? Well,
Make it until we make it.
luckily, there are these 5 bags down here. And in each of these bags is a different book. So if someone would please give me a number between... What was the first number you heard? Yeah, that's the first number I heard was number 2. And so in bag number 2 is the book, one of my favorites, by Eric Butterworth,
Ooh.
Spiritual Economics.
Ooh.
I feel like we had this book not last time, but the time before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there are
It's a good book.
215 pages. What's the page number I should go to? 157 is the number I heard. But that was from Sherry, and people might think that's a setup.
Yeah. That doesn't count.
So, with all due respect, is there another? Oh my gosh! I've created monsters.
You did.
Okay, everyone quiet. Give me a number. I feel like I heard 25.
Go with 88.
There are 2 paragraphs. Which one should I read? One. Okay. So this is in the chapter called The Truth About Substance. The truth about substance. So before I read this, I'm going to tell you the truth about substance. Substance is merely the outflow of consciousness. That's what substance is. We are all expressions of substance that comes forth from consciousness. So we are all consciousness embodied and expressed. So that's where we're going to start. So Eric Butterworth offers this. I'm going to keep inviting you to come over here. Be on the rug with me. Yeah, there we go. That feels better, right? So he's talking about a process here. Because I'm not reading the preceding paragraph, I don't know what the process is. But he says, this process is beautifully symbolized in the Old Testament story of the widow who came to the prophet Elisha in distress in 2 Kings 4, 1-7. She had been left destitute by the death of her husband. Her creditors were pressing her and her 2 sons, according to Talmudic law, were forfeit for her debt. She cried out to Elisha, saying, in effect, my husband is dead, and the creditor has come to take my sons. Elisha asked, what have you in the house? She replied, I have only 1 pot of oil. You see, what he was asking her was, where is your consciousness? What are you thinking about? What are you identifying with? Her reply indicated that despite the 1 pot of oil, she was centered in the awareness of poverty. She was possessed by fear and thus had cut herself off from the divine flow. She had a pot of oil, but to her, it was only 1 pot. It was evidence of substance, but to her, it was a symbol of lack. She was plagued with the very common problem of onlyness. Mm-hmm. So I have this thought. Mm-hmm. It's so funny because I talked about prosperity last week. And one of the things that I tend to teach in prosperity class, when I teach prosperity classes, is that we need to be aware of the manner in which we talk about our abundance and our, and our wealth. Mm-hmm. We could say, well, I only have 2 nickels. Mm-hmm. Or I could say, I have 2 nickels. And the energy behind that is an indication of the prosperity consciousness or lack thereof. And it is an indicator of how we might be experiencing our lives. What do you say to that?
I'd say that what you put your attention on, you develop. Is your attention on how you don't have enough money? You will not have enough money. You could have billions and you will not have enough money. And is your attention on, I am blessed with what I have, and what can I do with what I have? And I believe, and I've seen this in my life, your mileage may vary, it will multiply. Also, along the lines of worrying, the more that I worry that something bad is going to happen, the quicker it happens. And the more that I expect something good to happen, the quicker it happens. And the universe, notes from the universe, often surprises me in the style in which I want it happened. So count your pennies, but stop worrying about your pennies. And make wise use of however many pennies you have, and I believe that more will come.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, there's that, yes, I'm going to keep inviting you to, yeah, there we go.
Okay. So you should.
What is that phrase that sometimes, I think it's from Buddhism, worrying is like praying for what you don't want?
That's a phrase from everywhere.
Yeah.
Unity, Buddhism, all the religions we talked about, they all say that. Your thoughts are prayers. Yeah. And what you hold in mind over and over, that's what you will manifest. Yeah. And I think I mentioned this while you were away in a talk that, we spend 5 minutes praying. What do we do for the other 23 hours and 55 minutes?
That's right.
That's your prayer.
That is, our lives are prayer. I mean, really think about that. The outflow of our lives are prayer. We sing a song here, Kate, we haven't done it in a long time, called Our Thoughts, Our Prayers. Mm-hmm. Every aspect of our beingness is a prayer. Every aspect of our beingness is the way we are interacting with the world. Prayer is a way we interact with the world.
Yes.
And for me, the power of prayer is in the impulse into action in our lives that flows forth from the utterance of the prayer. Mm-hmm. And so if I have not been impelled into action when I pray, then there's an indication for me to continue in the activity of uttering prayer and finding that impulse within me that allows that to be met in action in my life. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you worry, you're doing affirmations for what you don't want.
Right. So this was the first. When I first studied spiritual economics, like 20 years ago. This was the book that I used for that class that I was in, and I wrote in the margin here, "What in your life are you holding on to as proof of lack?"
Yes. Yes. Write that down.
I will say that again. What in your life are you holding on to as proof of lack?
Yes. And what in your life are you holding on to as proof of anything else bad that you think is happening to you? Because we look for vindication of our beliefs that we don't deserve. Yeah. And so the harder you look, the more you'll find. And some of you are thinking, I know, I'm half psychic, some of you are thinking, no, I don't think that. You do. When blank hits the fan, you will.
Yeah.
And then at that time, you need to remember, forgive everything, remember who you are, and love always, but forgive everything, remember who you are. And that, I think, will usher you into, okay, this is a situation in my life, but this is not me. Right. And what is mine to do?
Yeah. You know, you make me think about a time in my life. So I was young in this movement. I'm still young, right?
You're still young and beautiful.
Well, thank you. And so are you.
Thank you.
But when I first came into this movement, when I first explored the tenets of the New Thought philosophy, I was living in Los Angeles. As most of you know, I was working as an actor, which there's a consciousness around the acting profession, and that is that you're mostly unemployed, right? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's always like this struggle to get to the next gig. And so we live our lives as, you know, we tend to think along the lines of destitution and we have to really pinch our pennies and watch and like withhold, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And so I was driving like this old beat up Toyota at the time. And my minister was saying, you know, at some point you're going to have to release that car because you hold on to it as a symbol of your lack. Mm-hmm. And it was like I was driving around Los Angeles like with this symbol of lack, and there was almost like a pride in me around having this symbol of lack because it showed that I was serious about my acting career.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, the day that I walked into a dealership and bought a brand new car, off the lot the very first time with 0.9% financing, even better, was like an eye-opening experience because I didn't think that I was worthy of it until I engaged in the impulse and practice of going, seeking it out, and allowing myself to actually feel the comfort around having that experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not only do we believe we don't deserve, other people believe that we don't deserve, and they tell us.
Oh, yeah.
Once upon a time, I was the senior minister of a church, and a couple years into the job, I felt financially secure enough. Not that I was making millions, but I thought, okay, I have a steady paycheck. I'm going to buy a new car. My car is 13 years old. It's falling apart. I'm going to get a new car. Got myself a brand new Prius, hybrid vehicle, loved it. I got some not so good feedback at my church. You are buying a new car? Are we paying you too much? Really? But I don't have a new car. How come you can have a new car? And that will go on in your life. So remember who you are. I know I'm wearing those out, but they're great. Remember who you are, and I deserve the new car, and I worked really hard on my job for the dollars that I was paid, and there's no reason why a minister of a church couldn't have a new Prius.
No.
Or a cleric at Target, or a rocket scientist. But people will tell you, you shouldn't do that. And tell them to take a hike.
Yeah. That's the most spiritual message I've heard today. Tell them to take a hike.
Oh, you missed a couple of weeks ago.
Oh. Yeah, well, as you say that, I'm thinking, do I let the community know that I'm now driving a Mercedes?
You should.
I just did.
And your husband is from in a new Land Rover.
And my husband is now driving a Range Rover.
Oh, Range Rover.
Yeah, Range Rover. Well, Land Rover, Range Rover. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
I think it's Land Rover.
well, Land Rover, but Range Rover is like within the Land Rover family.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We're gonna have this whole conversation up here. Oh, we're supposed to be giving a spiritual message.
Cars are spiritual.
Cars are spiritual.
They move you from place to place in life.
Yes. Yeah.
They give you the opportunity to learn spiritually as you fight traffic in the city of Tucson.
I get a lot of practice at that, driving in Tucson, practicing patience. Yeah. So, what are we holding on to as proof of lack? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that kind of comes up for me.
Physical evidence.
Physical evidence?
Which is foregoing spiritual evidence. Yeah.
So when I walk about my life with my shoulders hunched over, and not really wanting to make eye contact with people, it's probably some indication that I'm feeling less than in some manner. And so, let us step forth and, live the principle that we teach here, which is affirming our magnificence. Let us affirm our magnificence, because affirming our magnificence is also a manner in which we can activate the abundance in our lives. By knowing the truth of who we are activating that, and we are saying, bring it on, I want more. I'm willing to live within the infinite circulation and flow of all that is.
Yes.
And it begins with not diminishing myself, because if I diminish myself, everything in my life becomes diminished.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
And so it's just a question to ask, where in my life might I be diminishing myself? And perhaps begin to take a look at that and to take charge of something, take charge in a different direction. We are empowered in this philosophy to move in a different direction. It is a philosophy called New Thought, not because there's anything new around these principles. There is nothing new about these principles. These principles are ancient principles that have been taught for millennia. But what New Thought refers to is our capacity to, at any moment, have a new thought that allows us to come into a new way of being. And so, are you activating new thoughts in your life? That's really the question. The currency of the divine is ideas. The currency of the divine is ideas, and each and every one of us have access to the infinite ideas of the universe. Are we utilizing them in our lives to enhance the quality of our experience?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Mhm.
How about you? Are you enhancing the quality of your experience by latching on to some of those ideas?
But ideas are good ideas.
Well, ideas are ideas. I'm not qualifying them.
That was a setup.
Yeah,
Um,
clearly.
I think I'm going to go and quote Charles Fillmore
Yes.
in his book titled Prosperity. And there's a line there that for a long, long, long time has spoken to me, and I try to do that. And I'm going to say in a minute why I'm using it to answer your question. And he wrote in the book Prosperity that in the new economy, people will work, I'm paraphrasing a bit since I'm going by memory, but in the new economy, people will work for the joy of working. And everything will be provided to you in ways that we cannot yet imagine. He writes something about that. And so I think that when we're feeling less than and when things are not clicking, we're not doing it for the love of doing it. Anytime that I do anything for the love of doing it, things turn out well. When I do things because I have to, because I think I need to, because somebody told me to, they don't work out so well. Now, we have things to do. I have a day job, I have a moonlighting job too, and I have a boss in each one, and they tell me what to do, and that's how jobs are. But within that context, when I'm doing what I get paid to do, every day I do what I can to do it for the joy of doing it. And I believe in Mr. Fillmore, and I believe that things will be provided to me, and they have been provided to me in unimaginable ways. So do what you do for the joy, for the love of doing it. If you cannot do that, you're in the wrong place.
There's a similar idea that I think about from Deepak Chopra's 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, where he essentially said, if we all did what we loved, there would be nothing left in the world that went undone.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But sometimes we feel compelled by forces outside of ourselves to take steps in directions perhaps that are not that comfortable for us. I think about kids who go through university. Like I was very fortunate. I went through university with the freedom and the flexibility to get a degree in what I wanted to get a degree in, and that was acting and directing. And I went off and I had a life as an actor before then deciding that I wanted to change my whole life 20 years ago and become a minister. But I was fortunate. There are people in this world who have that impulse within them that is quelled by outside forces, and they choose the safer path because it is what is expected of them by that which is out there. But I have a question. What do you expect for yourself in terms of how you will be in this world? Because that is the thing to listen to truly listen to. I know that there is a passion within you that you work at every single day.
I do.
And that is the passion of music.
Yes.
And you play the iwi, and I know you play piano, and I know that that is something that you commit yourself to.
Yep.
And that you are activating that in your life purposefully.
And in the early days when I'm not so good, I could be my worst critic.
Oh.
And I can tell myself, you're not good at it. And I will believe myself. And, I have played here, sometimes okay, sometimes not so good. And when it happens not so good, I go home and I tell myself, see, you're bad at music. And finally, lately, I connected with a music teacher who is a wonderful man, and he's helping me get rid of all of that and say, this is what you need to do it. And I do it, and he goes, great. And
Yeah. I'm on a similar path because you know that I started like practicing guitar for the first time.
Yes, we're gonna play together on one
together
Sunday. Yeah.
But my music teacher said, don't practice.
Yes.
Play.
Yes. Yes.
Don't practice, because the consciousness of practicing means that you will always remain an amateur.
And my music teacher said, make friends with the difficulties you're encountering in music. And I have tried to do that, to befriend my musical challenges, and now we like each other, and things are getting better. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? Feeling good? You feel like you can move from this place and into your next experience enlightened into letting go of any consciousness of lack, because that's really what we're talking about today. Letting go of the consciousness of lack and allowing ourselves to embody and express the magnificent abundance that we inherently are. That's what today has ended up being all about. You know, the message title today is What Wants to Be Known, and that was clearly what wanted to be known.
Yes.
And I'm deeply grateful to you,
Thank
Reverend
you.
William, for sharing
Thank
the
you.
stage with me, and I'm deeply grateful to you. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. Now, lest you think there's no home practice today because I didn't have a prepared message, there is home practice today. And so this is what I'm going to invite us all to do. And actually, it ties in very well. Each day this week, take 1 hour every single day. Take 1 hour to do something that fills you from within. Take a break from your usual routine and make sure it's something you enjoy, and be fully present with the experience. Now, some people may look at that and say, a whole hour? A whole hour. You know, there's that it's said in Buddhism, if you think you can't meditate for 20 minutes, say it.
You should meditate for 20 minutes each day.
Yes.
Unless you are really, really busy, then you should meditate for an hour.
Yes. Similar idea. You are in charge of how your life unfolds. And so the call is to really commit to taking an hour every single day this week to do something that fills you from within and is outside of your usual routine. Can we all commit to that? I'm going to commit to it. Awesome. I invite us all to relax right where we are. Let's allow ourselves to see if there's any kernel of an idea that has resonated with us, perhaps more profoundly than any other. And let that be present in our hearts and in our minds right here and right now as we settle into this time of reflection and contemplation. As time has unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. With every thought I make, every last breath I take, may I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me, make me a symphony, play every note you can find. Make me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance and let my anthem be. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Let's take this opportunity to relax and allow ourselves to engage in the practice of affirmative prayer. If it's safe and comfortable to close the eyes, feel free to do so. Rooted in this assurance that there is only one power and presence, there is only one source of all creation, there is one. and we are, each and every one of us, aspects of the one. There is no part of our beingness that is not wholly divine. And our activity in the world is the activity of the divine. For we are spiritual beings, living in a spiritual universe, having spiritual experiences, and our lives are governed by that spiritual law of cause and effect, that spiritual law of mind action that always says yes to whatever is impressed upon it. And so I impress this idea that each and every one of us is activating in our lives the perfection that we inherently are. And that we are, each and every one of us, motivated into taking those divine ideas and putting them into practice in life. That each and every one of us is the outflow of the abundance we seek to express. For there can be no separation. And so I am open here and now, and trust and know that each and every one of us is open here and now to the infinite outflow of goodness. And it is with gratitude overflowing and appreciation overflowing from within that I simply allow this to be, and I reflect and allow this to unfold perfectly, easily, effortlessly, and with abandon by saying, and so it is. Amen. Love cover me, I will not be shaken, I will not be moved. Love cover me, may my heart awaken, tenderness be proved. Love cover me, love cover me. Love, 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 love. We can all sing that together. Love, 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 love. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Let's sing this together. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Thank you.